Imagine getting slapped with a fine just for singing too loudly in your own home after dark, or getting stopped by cops for carrying a screwdriver in your backpack. Australia's got some wild laws in 2025 that sound straight out of a sci-fi flick, but they're real, and they're enforced. Welcome to Beyond Borders, where we dive into the weird, wild, and downright unbelievable stories from around the globe. Today, we're uncovering 10 Australian laws that'll make your jaw drop. Some so bizarre you'll wonder how they even exist, and a few so new they're sparking heated debates across the country. Let's jump right in. First up, let's talk about keeping the peace, literally. In places like New South Wales and Queensland, if you're blasting music, shouting, or even laughing too loudly after 10 p.m., you could be in trouble. Noise laws are strict, and a single grumpy neighbor can file a complaint that leads to a hefty fine. In shared housing, like apartments, you might even face eviction if you keep it up. Picture this. You're having a late-night karaoke session in your living room, and suddenly, you're hit with a $200 penalty. It's not just about keeping things quiet, it's about keeping the peace at all costs. But that's nothing compared to what happens if you carry a simple tool in public. Ever tossed a screwdriver or a pair of pliers into your bag for a quick fix? In Australia, that could land you in a police interview. Under laws like Victoria's Crimes Act, carrying something as innocent as a screwdriver without a solid reason, like being a tradie on the job, can be seen as possessing a potential weapon. Cops can stop and search you, especially if you're out late at night. Imagine trying to explain at 2 a.m. that you're just fixing your bike. One wrong word and you're in hot water. And if you think that's invasive, wait till you hear what cops can do to your phone. Your phone's not as private as you think in Australia. Thanks to the 2018 Telecommunications Act, police and certain government agencies can demand access to your device if they suspect it's tied to national security. Refuse to unlock it? You could face massive fines or even jail time. These powers, beefed up to fight cybercrime, have sparked whispers of overreach. Some Aussies worry their private texts and photos aren't safe anymore. Critics say it's a slippery slope to surveillance, but the government insists it's about keeping the country secure. But not every law is so serious. Some are just plain ridiculous. Love dogs? Australia says 4's the limit. In states like South Australia, local councils cap how many dogs you can walk at once without a professional handler's license. Why? Too many pups can cause chaos, tripping up pedestrians or scaring other animals. Get caught with 5 dogs on leashes, and you could be fined on the spot. It's meant to keep streets safe, but for dog lovers, it feels like a leash on their freedom. And speaking of animals, you won't believe what feeding birds could cost you. In cities like Sydney and Brisbane, tossing a few crumbs to pigeons or seagulls isn't just frowned upon, it's illegal. Local councils say overfeeding makes birds aggressive and spreads disease, so you could cop a fine of up to $400 for sharing your sandwich with a gull. Tourists often get caught out, thinking it's a harmless act of kindness. Next time you're at Bondi Beach, keep those chips to yourself, or you'll pay more than just lunch money. But sitting in the wrong spot could get you in even more trouble. In Melbourne, just plopping down on the steps of certain historic or government buildings could earn you a fine. Local laws call it trespassing, even if you're just chilling with a coffee. The rule's meant to stop loitering and keep public spaces clear, but it's a shock for tourists who don't know better. Picture snapping a selfie on the steps of a grand old building, only to have a council officer hand you a $200 ticket. It's a harsh welcome to the city. Now let's dive into a 2025 law that's got everyone talking. Australia's made headlines with a world-first law banning kids under 16 from social media, set to kick in by December 2025. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and X have to block underage users or face fines up to $50 million. But here's the twist. YouTube's exempt thanks to its role in education and kids' content. This carve-out's got tech giants like Meta and Snapchat fuming, saying it's unfair. The eSafety Commissioner even warned that YouTube's not as safe as it seems, citing risks like violent or misogynistic videos. Rumors swirl that YouTube's CEO personally lobbied for the exemption, and critics argue the law's a mess, hard to enforce and easy to dodge with VPNs. Will it protect kids or just push them to unregulated corners of the internet? Only time will tell. From online rules to real-world restrictions, this next law hits your wallet hard. With droughts gripping Australia, states like Victoria and Western Australia have rolled out permanent water restrictions in 2025. Watering your lawn, washing your car, or filling a pool on the wrong day could cost you hundreds in fines. These rules aim to save water in a climate crisis, but they've sparked grumbling from homeowners who feel micromanaged. Some whisper about water police patrolling suburbs, though that's more rumor than reality. Still, forget to check the watering schedule and your bank account will feel the pinch. But here's a law that makes driving way less relaxing. Ever cruise down the highway with your elbow out the window, feeling like a movie star? In Australia, that's a no-go. Traffic laws in places like Queensland say sticking any limb out of your car, arm, leg, or even a foot, can earn you a fine of up to $300. It's about safety, they say, but it's a buzzkill for anyone who loves a breezy drive. Next time you're tempted to let your arm dangle, think twice, or pay the price. And finally, a law that controls what you name your kid. Want to name your newborn Lucifer, Batman, or even Spinach? Australia says no way. Under the Births, Deaths, and Marriages Registration Act, the government can reject names that are offensive, misleading, or just too weird. Each year, dozens of names get the boot, from king to saint. It's meant to protect kids from a lifetime of ridicule, but some parents argue it's their right to get creative. Imagine filling out a birth certificate only to have a bureaucrat say, "Try again." So what do all these laws mean for Australia in 2025? From silencing late-night singers to banning teens from TikTok, Australia's laws are a wild mix of safety, control, and outright oddity. They show a country wrestling with modern challenges, climate change, online harms, and public order, while trying to keep its free-spirited vibe. But are these rules protecting Aussies or going too far? That's the question lingering as 2025 unfolds. Which one of these laws shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments below, and if you love uncovering the strangest corners of the world, hit that subscribe button. We've got more jaw-dropping stories coming your way soon.